Right. So, whilst the media is obsessing, frankly, over WhatsApp messages about Matt Hancock's incompetence and idiocy, what was Boris Johnson doing and saying? What were they commenting on? Simon Case, that blasted civil servant again, his name's cropping up. Whilst we're talking about all of this, or whilst most of the mainstream media are talking about all of this, what are the Tories actually getting away with that the media are ignoring currently? Well, we're back to migrants in small boats again, as it happens. As it emerges, Rishi Sunak wants all people arriving by small boat to the UK permanently banned from this country. Yep, right to asylum, enshrined as their human right to get here illegally, if needs be, to claim it, not worrying about any punishment for that, if that's what they have to do. And Sunak wants to bin all of that off. But to do it, you'd have to bin all of our human rights off with it to get away with this. Now, despite the fact that Sunak is planning to legislate that everyone arriving in a dinghy, having risked their lives to do so, is to be immediately sent to Rwanda, their asylum claims also to be ruled inadmissible, it won't work. It can't pass. The power he would end up handing Suella Braverman, of all people, to make her dreams of deportation flights come true, would be to ban refugees arriving in this way. Impossible, as it pretty much is, to get here any other way, of course. No legal routes exist, after all, from applying for asylum and being banned from ever returning. Selfish, cruel, ignorant policy. People choosing to come here have many good reasons for doing so. They may have family here already. They may be English speaking. It's not for us to prejudge before their asylum claim goes through. They may have been promised help by our government, for all we know, that never arrived, as is the case for Afghan refugees, as just one example of that. But we're going to put them on a flight to Central Africa and forget they ever existed. They get their way. Now, it should be noted, of course, that to date, not one single flight has departed for Rwanda yet. Legal challenges have stopped every single one of them. That isn't going to change, because such legislation as Sunak wants to introduce has got to be violating international laws and treaties that we're already signatories of, because this is an international issue. It is not a domestic one, and Sunak cannot just fix this problem, as they see it, on his own. Why are these government figures, Sunak, Braverman, Priti Patel before her, so obsessed with blocking immigration when all of them have a family history of benefiting from immigration themselves? It's just the most bizarre, uncaring, unfeeling thinking. You would figure people like them would have more empathy, not less. And I cannot, for the life of me, put myself in their shoes, place myself in their heads, and rationalize the way they think about this. I just don't get it. The human rights advocacy group Freedom from Torture have called the plans vindictive and dysfunctional. I'd use less syllables myself. It's just bloody evil. Despite many of the gammon types pointing from cliffs and demanding they go back where they came from, why can't they stop in France? Mind your knuckles on the doorstep as you go. Many of these people are fleeing torture, persecution, war, and have nowhere else realistically that they can go. Now, that last door is being slammed in their face too. The government gets away with this. Risk their lives to cross the channel in a small boat and then end up on a plane to the middle of Africa. Lovely. Not only that, but the increase in numbers we're seeing is a direct result of Boris Johnson's Brexit deal, which he never read, because if he had, he'd have known we didn't have a migrants return policy in place. And whilst part of the EU, the issue of taking in migrants was shared out across the entire bloc, now people can come here knowing if their asylum claim is successful, they are staying here. I'll return to the issue of nowhere else to go, though, because this is the most pertinent point. It means, despite all of this, the boats will still come. Traffickers will keep on making money. For as long as no legal route exists, you will not stop that problem. Sunak and Braverman know this. Anytime they say they're going to be dealing with the boat problem by doing this, they are knowingly lying. The Tories have failed enough times over the years for this to be obvious to them. They simply don't care, and they think we're all stupid enough to keep on believing them. They just want good media headlines that show they're doing something, no matter how cruel and legally questionable that might be. We already take fewer asylum seekers in comparable nations. It should be a source of national shame and embarrassment, especially when our arms manufacturing and sales abroad continue and to contribute to creating so many of these refugees to begin with. Sunak arrogantly thinks his plan can be made legally watertight. I think it's already got enough holes in it to sink in seconds, and there will always be people who will go above and beyond in calling out and to make sure those flights continue to never take off. This legislation is coming this week. Keep an eye out for it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit like and subscribe, leave a comment and hit the notification bell too so you don't miss the next one. Also, look out for me on social media and other interesting stuff by clicking on the Linktree link in the comments below. And I will see you next time. Cheers, folks.